Recovery tools for runners and how often I use them. Foot roller, 2 to 5 times a day. Foam roller, 2 to 5 times a day. Medium-sized chirp wheel, 2 to 5 times per week. Small chirp wheel, 2 to 5 times per week. Massage ball, 2 times a month. Massage stick, only when I'm traveling. Recovery tools for runners. Alright, this video I'm going to go over some of the tools that I like to use, how often I use them, and what types of movements I like to do with them. So probably the most common and most frequently used item is just the standard foam roller. So this is one that I purchased myself a long time ago. I actually have a much longer one that I use as well. This one is a little bit easier for small spaces and travel. It still is a little bit big for a suitcase, but really what I use this for is on my calves and on my upper back. So I will use this every morning when I get up before I run. I run in the morning, and then some mornings I'll do another quick roll after my run, and then typically after work, and then later on in the evening I will also do some quick foam rolling. So normally it is just on my calves and then on my upper back, probably 1 to 2 minutes in total. Once in a while I'll try doing my upper legs, the quads and hamstrings, but normally I'm not sore in those areas, so I don't do foam rolling on those. Really, I find the key with this is really just to try to find any sore spots and work them out and make it feel a little bit more loose. So this is just a standard foam roller. I find this one actually works quite well for me because it is relatively soft, and I can just use my body weight to get a good amount of pressure where I want it. I also have a foam roller like this one that is a Nike one. There's other similar models that are hollow like this. I think I actually purchased this one myself, and I use this one more often when I travel because then I'm able to be a little bit more efficient with my suitcase space. I can pack a bunch of stuff inside of it, and it saves some space. One thing I will note with this one is the diameter is a little bit smaller, and just with that hollow plastic core and a small amount of foam around it, it does end up being quite a bit more firm with more intense pressure. So really depends kind of what I'm looking for. Most of the time either one will work out for me. Often I'll prefer this one just because it's a little bit less pressure, but when I'm traveling or when I need more focused pressure, this one works well in addition to that one. The other item that I use every day, and this is another item that I just purchased myself many years ago when I started running. This is a foot roller. I think I got this one off of Amazon, just like this. Probably you type in foot roller or foam roller. These are going to be some of the top ones that pop up. This is another item that I use every single day. Kind of similar routine with the standard foam roller. I will get up in the morning, and that's one of the first things I do is I go do it on both of my feet, just standing and rolling my foot over it. Pretty easy to control the pressure, and then the areas of the foot, mostly in the arch area where I can feel a little bit of tightness at times, and it really helps to loosen that up. I find doing it really frequently and consistently really helps keep my feet feeling, I guess, more relaxed and more fresh and able to recover. So I'll do that before my run, again, sometimes after my run, not every time, and then after work or later in the day, as well as typically one later on in the evening, just to make sure everything's feeling loose and relaxed as possible throughout that recovery process. These other items are ones that I would say I use more as a supplement to these main ones. Chirp did send me a variety of different size wheels to try out. I have found that they are a great alternative. One of the things I would note is that I find these work really well on the upper back. That's really what they were designed for, with this groove. Allows your spine to sit in here, and then this puts pressure on the back muscles that surround the spine. Can do a really good job of getting in between the shoulder blades. So this one is very similar feel to this, but or I guess also pretty similar to this. But what I find with this one is that when I want to get in between my shoulder blades and get a lot more intense pressure, this kind of outside edge ends up sitting right in that spot, and I can really get a good deep amount of tissue engagement using this medium-sized wheel. So this one I actually use somewhat frequently, maybe close to every day, just depending on how I feel. I also find that this smaller version, I typically would not put my full body weight on this one. It's just too small, too intense. But I do find that if I lay with my back on the ground and then just put my neck over this and just gently put pressure on it, it can really help loosen up if I feel like I have a tight neck. So this is another one I don't necessarily use every day, but it's pretty frequent. Probably multiple times a week I'll pull it out and just get a little bit looseness into my neck. I'd say that's kind of a similar situation with the massage ball. So this is a little bit, again, going to be more intense and more focused pressure. So if there is a tight spot, so sometimes there's, let's say like, again, usually it's in my upper back, like under a shoulder blade. If there's a sore spot or a knot there, I can just lay on this essentially and roll back and forth, and it'll help loosen that up considerably. Chirp also has a bunch of other different sizes, different varieties of products. I do find sometimes the bigger one can be a good place to start. When I first got these, I did find that they were pretty firm pressure, pretty intense. It actually was easier on my back, or easier to get used to, starting with the larger size wheel and then working my way down as I got a little bit more used to it. And I think the last item I have here is the massage stick. So this is another item that I'll use while I'm traveling. This one's really easy to fit in the suitcase. It doesn't take up much space, but it does a good job of loosening up the legs. So this one is pretty good at the calves as well as some of the upper leg muscles like the quads. If they're sore either before or after a race, this is pretty easy way to loosen them up without taking up a lot of space in the suitcase. When I'm at home, I usually don't end up using this because I just find that these are a little bit easier to use, easier to control by using the larger rollers that I can use my body weight, as opposed to something smaller like this where I'm actually using my hands and arms to try to roll out the muscles. So really the key ones, foot roller is one I use every day, and then the foam roller, either the standard one or one with a hollow core, are both really key regular items in my recovery. This one really I only use on my calves in terms of my lower body. My quads and hamstrings, occasionally I'll just check out and see if anything feels sore, but normally they don't. So it's usually quickly to loosen up the calves. And then probably the bigger change, or the bigger benefit I see with this one, or with the foam rollers in general, is being able to roll out and loosen up my upper back. So that's really what I'm going after with these ones, and that's why I really like doing it in the morning, and then after work and before bed, is going kind of in that shoulder blade area. Allows me to crack my upper back as well as get some of the pressure into the muscles in between the shoulder blades and really loosen them up. And that really just helps in general make me feel a lot more loose and a lot more relaxed. Okay, so I think that covers my main daily recovery routines. I really don't do a lot of stretching or other maybe dynamic or static exercises. I really like to do the rolling and pressure type recovery methods, and I find that those work really well for me. I hope that was useful or interesting, and thank you for watching.